Hi, it's Melanie Henson here from Coleman's Craft Warehouse again. So this time I thought I'd just show you my color chart that I made. Wonderful to look at, so satisfying. So I found this idea on the internet. It's not my idea, you can probably find it online as well, but I just thought I'd share with you why I did it and what it is. So when you come to doing your painting, you might have a lot of paint, different colors, and you have no idea how to mix them or what color you're going to get if you mix another two colors together. So this chart will save you a lot of time and a lot of effort, and yeah, just make your painting life a little bit easier, I think, in terms of color mixing. So what it is, it's just a little, you can see it's a little grid, and it just helps you pinpoint what color, what two colors you might need to mix another color. So if you looking at your photographic reference or whatever reference you are doing for your painting, and for example, if you see a certain green that you want to try and replicate in your painting, you can then look at your little chart and see which two colors you use to make a certain green. So for example, if I wanted to use this green here, I've got a very fresh, bright green in my painting, I would look on my chart and look for what I think would be the closest green to that. So for example, a really nice, bright, fresh green, say this one here, I would then be able to just run my eye up the chart and see that I used Prussian blue, and if I run my eye along that way, cadmium lemon. So Prussian blue and cadmium lemon are going to give me this green. Same goes for say this purple here. If you see that purple in your reference photo, or you want to create that purple, you would then be able to see that you've used alizarin crimson and French ultramarine to make that purple. Okay, so it's very easy to quickly pinpoint the type of color that you want and then how you mixed it. Also, with a chart like this, it's great because you can see, if I just, I started off with 6 colors on my grid. Okay, excuse the paper being a bit dirty. Okay, so I've used 6 colors along there: cadmium red, alizarin crimson, cadmium lemon, cadmium yellow, French ultramarine, and Prussian blue. And I've used those exact same colors down here in the same order. So just 6 colors, and I've been able to mix probably upwards of 30 colors just from those 6 colors. Okay, so that's pretty amazing. It just goes to show that you don't need to buy many tubes of paint to start off with. Then I added another 2 colors to my palette, and I put cerulean blue and yellow ochre, and the same down here, and I've ended up with being able to mix 56 colors just from those 8 colors, and so on. Then I decided to add burnt sienna and burnt umber to my grid. Ooh, I'm going to be ending up going off the table in a minute. And I've got 90 plus colors, and then finally I added Indian yellow and permanent rose to my grid, and I've ended up with approximately 136 different colors on this grid. So just with 12 tubes of paint, I can get upwards of 136 colors. Okay, so if I just show you quickly with a few colors how to mix this chart. So I will take my cadmium red. This will take a long time to do, but it's worth it because you will also develop skill in your actual painting and control of the brush, so it's actually worth doing. And if you do it with your own paints that you've got, you will learn more than if you just download something off the internet. Okay, so I've put in there that my first 2 squares are cadmium red, and then I'm going to put alizarin crimson in a little block. Obviously you will need a bigger piece of paper as well to do this, or you might need to tape a couple of pieces of paper together. So that's alizarin crimson, then cadmium lemon. So I'm just doing exactly the same order of colors down both sides, and then I will go with, I'm going to go straight to blue because cadmium yellow, it's going to be a little bit too similar just for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to go to French ultramarine, and then French ultramarine down that side as well. Okay, so how you start off to actually paint this grid is obviously you're going to not paint this block here because cadmium red and cadmium red together in a block is just going to make cadmium red. Okay, but what you'll do is you'll take your cadmium red and your alizarin crimson and you will paint that block there. So just mix up, oh, let me just do that on a clean bit of palette, otherwise we're not going to get a true color. Okay, this will be very similar anyway, but obviously you'll be able to see the difference at home. Okay, so there's my block of color there made with cadmium red and permanent alizarin crimson. Then I'm going to take my cadmium red down to mix with cadmium lemon. Okay, a little bit of cadmium red. Try and keep my water clean, but I'm not very good at keeping my water clean. I'm a bit undisciplined. Okay, and there I will have a block of cadmium red and lemon yellow. Okay, so you'll carry on in this way down the grid, and the next one is cadmium red and ultramarine. Okay, all right, so you can see there the progression of color as you go down. And when it comes to working along the other side of the grid, you will carry on in this manner. So you will then take your cadmium red this way and your permanent alizarin crimson, and you will end up with maybe a slightly different mix than you had in this block. They're both blocks are made using cadmium red and alizarin crimson, but they're just slightly different. I'll show you as I come down with the orange. So cadmium red going across here and yellow lemon. This time maybe there's more lemon in your mix, so you will end up with a slightly different orange to this one here. So they're both oranges are made using the same 2 colors, lemon yellow and cadmium red, but because the mixture is slightly different in proportion of red to yellow, you're going to get a slightly different orange. And the same as you go down to the purple here, I'm going to add a little bit, maybe a little bit more blue to that purple. So I'm going to have cadmium red and French ultramarine, and then I end up with a slightly more bluey purple. So here and here are 2 purples, both made with cadmium red and ultramarine, but they are slightly different just because of the different amounts of red or blue I've used. Okay, so that's how you would then work your chart. And on mine, I made a couple of mistakes. So I just got a separate piece of paper, painted a little block, and then just, I don't know if you can see there, but I've just glued down my little block over my mistake that I made, just so that I didn't have to start all over again. Okay, so have a little go with that. It's quite interesting just to see all the different colors you can get. It's pretty amazing. It's quite fun to do, and it's quite therapeutic as well. You know, if you just want a bit of quiet time and time out, just find a quiet space and sit and do your little color chart. Okay, so happy painting. See you next time.